My name is Alex, and this is my story. I was born and raised in a small town, but I've been living in a big city for the past 3 years. It's a bustling metropolis full of bright lights and busy streets, just the kind of place where you can easily disappear. I work as a waitress in a small cafe. It's not the best job, but it pays the bills. One day, while I was taking a lunch break, I was reading a local newspaper when I saw a missing persons report. The woman in the photo was in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. She had long, flowing red hair and was about 5'6". The article said she had been missing for 3 days and that she had last been seen entering an apartment building in the city center. The police were concerned for her welfare and asked anyone with information to come forward. I looked at the photo again. Something about the missing woman's face seemed familiar to me, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I shrugged it off and went back to my sandwich. Later that day, I was taking a customer's order when the bell above the door chimed. I looked up to see a woman standing in the doorway. She was tall and slender with long, flowing red hair. She was about 5'6". I couldn't help but stare at her. There was something about her that I found strangely captivating. She smiled at me and in a low, raspy voice said, "Hi there, I'm here for the interview." I blinked and quickly looked away. An interview? What interview? I thought. As I turned back to the customer, I heard the woman's voice again. "You must be Alex." I followed her gaze to see a man standing behind her. He was tall and handsome, with a charming smile and unruly brown hair. "This is my husband, Mark," she said, extending her arm toward him. "Nice to meet you," I replied, shaking her hand. Her grip was surprisingly strong. Over the next few weeks, I couldn't help but feel like something wasn't right. It was like a nagging feeling in the back of my mind that I just couldn't shake. I tried to push it out of my mind, but it only got worse. One night, I was getting stuff from my car when I saw Mark and the woman from the cafe walking toward me. "What?" I exclaimed. They both turned to look at me. A wicked grin spread across Mark's face. "Fancy seeing you here," he said. His eyes were gleaming with excitement. The woman said nothing. She just stood there staring at me, her eyes boring into mine. I felt a chill run down my spine. As they approached me, I could see that the woman was wearing a long, flowing red dress. It was the same red dress that the woman in the missing person's photo was wearing. I stumbled back in shock. You're not who I think you are," I stammered. The woman's grin widened. "Oh, but we are," she purred. Suddenly, Mark lunged at me, his hands outstretched. I screamed and backed away. The woman with the red hair was watching us, her eyes never leaving mine. Mark tackled me to the ground and pinned me there with his body. "Let me go," I struggled against him, but he was too strong. As he leaned in close to me, I could smell the stench of decay on his breath. It was then that I noticed the long, sharp claws that had appeared on his fingernails. With a sudden jolt, I realized who the woman was. It was the serial killer, Delilah. Delilah had been terrorizing the city for months, preying on young women and leaving their bodies mutilated and displayed in public places. The police had no leads, and the killings continued unabated. I knew I had to do something to stop her. I reached out and grabbed onto one of her braids, pulling it tightly. She screamed in pain and surprise. I yanked her off balance, causing her to lose her footing and fall to the ground. I scrambled back, knocking over a nearby trash can. The loud noise echoed through the empty street. Adrenaline surged through my veins as I made a mad dash for my car. I fumbled with my keys, trying to unlock the door. Finally, I got in and slammed the door shut. I started the engine and sped away. Behind me, I heard the sound of sirens wailing in the distance. I knew they were coming for me, but I didn't care. I had done what I had to do. I was just one person, but together we can make a difference. That's all for now. See you next time.